Hello and welcome to Porch Thoughts with your host, me, Wizard V, otherwise known as Michael V. Today, I'm going to talk about magic and meditation. And what does it mean? What is it? What is magic? Not that guy. That's Magic over there. I have a cat named Magic. But no, I'm going to talk about magic. And what is it? What is magic? Dang, look at that guy. So I'll tell you a few stories and I'll tell you some of my own experiences with magic. I have been meditating and performing magical spells since I was a child. Actually, I think all of us do. We all do magic and we just don't know it. You know, we might know it. You might know you're doing it. It's basically, you put your emotion and your energy and your excitement into something and you wish upon a star or wish just, sometimes the wishes come out of suffering. You're like, I just don't want to do this anymore. I wish it was different. And then it changes, and whatever you put your energy into, you get more of. So I'm going to talk about that. Also, meditation. A lot of people have maybe not the wrong idea about meditation, but they just don't understand what it is. They don't even know where to start. I've had so many people ask me, like, where do I start? What do I do first? And there's just so much when it comes to that. Like, every single meditation leads to a different doorway to basically the same place or a different place. So I'll go over that too. But I'd also like to mention some places I go to for these things. Like there's different podcasts and YouTube channels I really enjoy. Here's a few of them right here. Jason Louv has a great podcast called Ultra Culture. Ultra Culture? I think that's what it's called. But if you just type in his name, Jason Louv, on Spotify, anywhere there's podcasts, on YouTube and other places. Wim Hof, that guy's got some good information. He does this breathing technique and he sits in ice, the ice cold. I don't know if you've heard of that guy, Iceman. And that guy right there in the middle, Dio, I think is how you say his name. He's got a good YouTube channel. I think he's from, somewhere in India. But he's got really good info that I haven't heard anywhere else. Aeon Byte is a YouTube channel and also a podcast that kind of covers a wide range of hermetic things and Gnosticism and all that. So if you know anything about that, that's a place to dive into for sure. And then the Lotus Center Films is kind of like a compilation of a bunch of different videos. It's a really small channel. Not a lot of people know about it. And they talk about spirituality and, meditation and a bunch of things like that. There's some guru guy named Audley Allison over there. He's really interesting. Watch those videos. But all the videos on that channel are really good. Covers a wide range of things. I've discovered a lot through there. But other than that, I'd like to talk about my own experiences in these things. And I know that they're not the same for everybody. Everybody has a different perspective. Everyone has a different, mode of how they do it. One realization I came to when I read the book Siddhartha. I don't know if you've heard of that book, Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse, was that everyone kind of goes through the same things, but just in different orders. Like, it's like all of our lives we're all going through these same journeys, but some of us experience certain chapters before other chapters, you know what I mean? So like Buddha, the story of Buddha was like, he was like rich and had everything, and he was like a prince, right? And then he left his family and his kid and everything to pursue God, and he wanted to relieve the suffering of mankind. And so he had these specific things happen to him first. Like, he had all that wealth and family and everything first, and then but then some of the other characters in the book did it the other way around. Like, they started and then he went into the woods, but then some people started in the woods and like an aesthetic life, and then went into is that what you call it, aesthetic life? I never know that word. I always lose track of words. I'm not so good with like remembering specifics, but I get the vibe of things, and I can't like really tell you exactly things. Sometimes names are tricky for me. Names and places, especially if they're long names. But anyways, so like what I realize is that we all experience things at different times. That's why we can help each other with these things. We can, bring each other to enlightenment by sharing our own experiences and our own stories. Maybe you've experienced something that I haven't yet, and I've experienced something that you haven't yet. You know what I mean? So we can learn from each other and learn not what to do most of the time. So in my journey, I, was always seeking some kind of like more. I needed to know more about stuff. I felt like there was just more going on around us. My eyes were opened at a young age, and I was like, there's more going on here than everyone's leading on to. And you probably have the same kind of notion, right? So the very first book I got, because I didn't like books at all. I was into books, like I didn't like reading when I was a kid. I wasn't really into school much, which I'm kind of glad I wasn't, because it seems like a whole bunch of brainwashing, right? So, like the first books I got into, I wasn't until I was like 16 or something. I went to a metaphysical bookstore and I was like, what are these books? What is all this? This is new to me, like all these topics and like what, so I dove right in. And one of the first books I got was this magical book. It was like a Wiccan book or something. And it was just called Natural Magic, I think. And I don't really remember it sticking that much. Like I don't think I read the whole thing. I just read a few chapters and was like, meh. And then just held on to the book forever and then didn't like finish it. I do that sometimes. But then what happened, I ended up getting into Carlos Castaneda and like read all of his books. I was like, I have to read everything. And then after reading Siddhartha, I read like every Herman Hesse book I can get. The Glass Bead Game, Damien, Narcissus and Goldmund. Oh, that one is so good. Narcissus and Goldmund. Oh, it's about a monk and this gypsy traveler guy, and they're like friends, and they come together and talk about different topics. I really like that one. But the first thing they showed me in that magical book was to brush your hair. It was like the very first page or some shit. Like they're like, brush your hair. It refines your energy. It releases thoughts. It like cleans you up in your aura, right? So I'd start brushing my hair. At one point I had dreadlocks and I was like, oh, this is why. I just felt like I had a cluttered head all the time. All these thoughts were just clinging to me, and my hair is straight. It's not, I don't have that kind of hair. So I was like, which is, so so I brushed it out as soon as I could. Put a bunch of conditioner in there. I was like, no. And then I remembered that book and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. And I don't know if it's antennas or what it is, but your hair is alive and you definitely pick up on other people's energy with your hair. So whenever you're around a crowd of people or standing in front of people, anywhere there's a lot of people, make sure you just put your hair up. Put it inside a hat. Put it up, like do a little bun or something. And it'll help you maintain your own energy. You want to absorb all these random thoughts, because we're all just like antennas. Our whole bodies are antennas. Our spines are antennas, and we're picking up on energy out there. And if you don't know how to build that energy and maintain it, hold it, then it's just gonna like go anywhere. It's a static. So you'll pick up on stuff and you'll give your energy away. We're all boundless energy. We all have like unlimited amount of energy, but we give it away to things. And we're always like using it up on digesting food and like brain powered, like figuring things out, physically. We're always using it up. So we got to recharge. But the food we eat isn't always the right way to do it. Like some of the food out there is just crap, like you think about what kind of energy went into growing that, and a lot of the times it's just money. It's all about making money, And one of the main reasons why I don't eat meat, and I haven't eaten meat for like almost 30 years now, is because, well, first off, I saw that movie Faces of Death, and they were showing like slaughterhouses, and I was like, ugh, no, I don't want to be part of that world, and it just wasn't for me. I never really was into meat. Like I liked it a little bit when I was a kid, but like just the dirty stuff, like salty, sweet meats, and that's like the worst kind, right? So, because pigs are full of pus. Anyhow, I think that that not eating meat kind of like tapped me into being a little more like sensitive to things. And so the reason why I didn't eat meat, the main reason that I stuck to and was like would tell people, is because I don't know where it's from. I don't know the energy that went into that. And a lot of times they're just trapping these animals, and that they see the animals in front of them on the conveyor belt as they're about to die. Like they see the animals dying in front of them right before they die. So I mean, that's the kind of energy that's going into it, and then you're eating that. So it's just weird. I can go into that, but that's a whole other subject, that you probably don't want to hear, because everyone loves meat, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, people need it, they're used to it. It's part of who they are, It's a hard thing to get out of. I'm just glad I got out of it so early. So the one thing that I really stuck to was that I didn't know where it was from, and I've always, to this day, I will eat meat if I know where it's from and it's fresh. Like if somebody catches a deer and like does all this stuff and then makes the meat, and then we eat it before it's frozen, before it's preserved, before it's stuffed full of preservatives or whatever they do to it, then the life force is still there, which never happens. When do you ever eat meat the day it's caught? When you catch fish, right? When you go fishing. So I would definitely eat meat from a fish if I caught it that day and someone cooked it up. And I had that one time, and you can just feel that life force, that energy in there still. And that's what's sustaining you. That's what's like good for you. You're not, if you just eat dead meat that's like been frozen, you're just spending all your energy on digesting it, and you're going to need more energy from somewhere. And that's same thing with vegetables, same thing with anything else. Like if the energy is wrong with it, then like I try to eat vegetables from like small farms, from people, from backyards and stuff, and it doesn't always work out that way, but you can bless for your food too. May what I don't need go through me without harm, and what I do need go in me and sustain my life, So it's all how you feel about it. It's all in your head too. There's the placebo effect and the nocebo effect. Those are a real thing. So a lot of that has to do with magic, and a lot to do with, this subject. So that's kind of why I wanted to start there, because like what you put in your body is what you're going to get. And a lot of people are like, why do I have these thoughts? And why am I so depressed? You got to think about what you're putting in your body. What meat, what TV shows, what media you're scrolling through all day. If you're choosing things that are like sad, like the news, or like you're choosing to watch like cop shows, or it's just something like that pulls your energy down, then you're going to get more of that. So if you're placing your energy in those things, you're going to get more of those things. It just makes sense. Like, have you ever done something all day long, and then right when you close your eyes, you can still see, it's like you're still doing it? Or you've been driving a long distance, and then you get somewhere, and it still feels like you're driving, kind of? You still get that, like, some weird feeling. I can't even describe that. Same thing. So, like, whatever you're training yourself on, that's what you're going to get more of. We're analog creatures. And when we repeat things, we're not digital. We're not robots. Hopefully not. It takes a minute, but when you repeat something over and over, it like goes into who you are. You integrate it into your DNA. So, a lot of things are real subtle like that. So, Magick and Meditation. Meditation I started doing somewhere around the year 1999. I got really into it. I met this teacher who showed me some things. And taught me some Kriya yoga. And I've never really been in like stretching and all that, which I should get into more. I always felt like stretching was like I'm a cat, I just wake up and I stretch. But if you do specific stretches, it really helps you maintain your energy in your body. And over the years, I found just little things that popped out at me, that were of interest, like maintaining your own energy. With the food you eat, how you expel bodily fluids. Like if you if you're always coming all the time. That's like a huge resource of energy, creative life force that if you're just all the time, I know it's probably gross, but like then you're not gonna have that. Like that's why boxers don't have sex before they have a match. Like that's a real thing. And then you go all over the world and you hear about different stories. Celibacy or just like holding your energy, maintaining that energy within you, and not just letting it go whenever and however. Just being a little more conscious with your energy. So meditation is kind of like doing that. So like you can build up your energy and maintain it, and then use focus. So a lot of meditation is focus. You're like focused on a specific point. You focus on energy in your body. You can focus at the top of your head. You focus on the different energy centers in your body. You can like do like a scan and be scanning the inside of your body all the time for different ailments or like energies. We all attach these traumas and different like people. We put hooks in us, and there's all this stuff going on that we've like collected over the years of different people's energy that you meld with different addictions, or maybe traumatic things happened when you were young. You put all those things in your energy field. What are you trying to do? What are you doing? He wants something. You want this? It's a plug. You want that? He wants this. I don't know why. What are you trying to do? He's all curious now. So like you put that energy that's all around you. And so some meditations teach you to clear out that energy. Focus on removing all those things daily or every night. It's good to start your energy in the morning with like meditation. Like start your day with a meditation, because like you're less cluttered with things. And then end your day with a meditation and release all those things from the day and just kind of work through and clear stuff. So you can use it for that. You can use it just to relax. You can use it to focus, to like concentrate on something and focus, your breath. You can use it to like stop your thoughts. I don't think you can completely stop your thoughts, but I've had moments where like my thoughts will stop, and then I'm like, oh, there's like this space in between thoughts. And then as soon as you think about it, you're out of it, like it's just like a second. But when you're in there and you can stay really still, then it opens up, like things just happen. I can't even describe it. It's like beyond words, but it can happen for a second, and then it slows time down and stuff. But you don't realize it until you're through it, kind of thing. But there's a bunch of modes, a bunch of things to do, like tools. You can have tools in your tool chest to get to these states. There's all these different states in meditation. You can release stress. You can clear out your energy off from all those things you've collected. You can focus your energy like through your body and like see inside of you and kind of diagnose yourself for anything you might be holding on to, or maybe you have like a pain somewhere. You can focus on it and try to work it out and figure out why you're having that pain. You can become aware of your different energy bodies, and you can align your chakras and then get them to spin. I think they spin like this. Oh no, they spin like this. They spin like out into the world and get stuff and bring it back. And then you can like flip them and get them to spin like together, like they're gears. And then it builds this temple of light, which is your spine. And then you can travel up and out of yourself into, and there's other energy bodies. You have this body right here, this physical body with like an overlay of energy centers, and then you can pop out of that, and then there's your astral self, your astral body, which is like your ghost self, and you can travel with that through the world of mind, the astral realm, which is like a whole different topic. The astral realm, look it up. It's interesting. I think the astral realm is just all like pure imagination. It's like this place that's overlaid on top of ours, that is just pure thought. It's outside of time. It's a collective energy of everyone's thoughts and ideas all just hovering there in this like bubble around everything. But then I believe that there's places beyond that. So you can get totally distracted in the astral realm, and inside of the astral realm is like people's psychedelic trips, dreams, aliens, spirits, earth spirits, natural spirits, like entities that are messing with you, the jinn. Like there's all these things in that astral realm, but outside of it is a whole different thing. There's like God, right? There's like this other thing. But in order to experience that realm, you got to get outside of the physical, you got to get outside of that astral realm, and you got to step into your light body, which is like the Buddha body, Christ body. It's this golden energy body, kind of like those people on Cocoon. Did you ever see that movie Cocoon? They were just like golden light, it's like that. So you step into that golden light, and that being that's part of you wakes up and is like, oh, and you gain this higher perspective. It's probably like a seventh dimension body or something. It's like this, I don't know dimensions very well. I just know 3, 4, 5 and 6 and 7. Like I've had them explained to me before, but it's somewhere in the 6 or 7. It's like this energy body that you can step into and learn how to navigate, to use like a vehicle. And then you can go further with that body. So you can go up into the source of everything, or the Godhead, they call it. And then with that, when you just like meld with that, then you can go even further. And then it's a whole different kind of consciousness. It's not like your physical consciousness, but in that pathway through there, you have to completely let go of who you are. You have to like become one with everything, basically, or just realize that you are already. And so it's like this bigger picture, this outside mind. But that's some advanced stuff that rarely people get to. Like there's very few people on this earth that like go there. But I think now is the time when everyone is kind of getting closer to this. There's more awareness of this. There's more books. There's more shows. And people are like waking up to their true nature, And I think this physical world is just falling apart. We can all see that. You could say that this is like a hell realm, and it's not necessarily like hell in the way you would think fire and brimstone, but it's like suffering, addictions, love, addiction of love, all the definitions of love that are not like real. There's like lust, and there's all these like creatures and monsters down here holding us and tying us to all these things, right? And there's all these beings living here too that are like feeding off of us. And it's just like this whole mess going on down here, which is even better reason to like refine your energy and maintain it and stay in that light without doubt, And every time you have doubt, every time you're in fear, you just get pulled into that hell realm even more. And most of us know that it's your perspective that, holds you to whatever you're experiencing. So this moment creates the next, as Thich Nhat Hanh would say. So this is like a place where you can see it as a school. You could see it as a place to practice. You could see it as, just fun. Just this is the only life we live, And there is reincarnation, but not in the way everyone thinks. You're not holding this one consciousness and going to the next thing. You're part of everything. You know what I mean? So it's like you are everyone and they are you. It's really hard to put into words because it's beyond words, right? Which brings me back to magic, because magic is huge with words. Magic is very physical astral realm. Like it's like the physical world and the astral world dancing together in this, like with the Gordian knot or the Vesica Pisces coming apart. So you got the astral and the physical, and they're just overlapping, and magic is right there in between. So it's like how to navigate this realm, and when you fine tune that, when you learn like the names and you learn the spells and you learn all the actions, then you're a magician, right? You become the magician, but when you transcend that position of magician, then you realize that there's no point to it. It's kind of like Carlos Castaneda's teacher said in the books, each path leads nowhere. It's the only one that's worthy is the one with a heart. So if you have a heart, if you're like compassionate and you're nice to people, then that is the path worth living, right? And which isn't always easy. It's easy to get reactionary to everything. So when you meditate a lot, when you pray a lot, when you go out into nature a lot, and you do those magic spells, or you focus on your energy, you learn to react to things slower. And then the one thing that meditation does for me more than anything is help me maintain my focus when something comes to me and makes me, react in a good way, bad way. Like, the thing is to be in the world but not of it, that straight and narrow path where you just are non-reactionary, but you recognize things for what they are. And that's, like a big lesson for everyone, just not reacting to stuff, to keep your emotions balanced, not let them get carried away and pulled in this direction or that direction. I think when I am super addicted to things, when I'm like clinging to stuff, I'm way more reactionary. So the more I can let go of things, the less I react to things with like drama. Less drama queen I am. And I can just like maintain my own energy. But as soon as you give up that energy, it's like you have to start all over again. It's like you can go back to the beginning of the game. You might have some stuff built up, a foundation, but you still got to like every day rebuild. And that's why it's good to practice. That's why it's a practice. And if you don't practice, then the energy goes away. So, it's like we're all on a parade. My teacher told me this. We're all on a parade and we're all going there. Some of us are ahead and some of us behind, but we're all going there. So like, don't worry about it. That you can meditate or not, but eventually we're all going to get to a place where we're going to have to like become aware. And it's like, it's our survival in a way. It's our mental state. It's how happy you are. It's how you can maintain anything. So meditation is good. And for whatever you use it for, it's going to be a good thing. But just know that every single meditation, every single magical spell is going to lead you somewhere different, and they usually don't work. Someone just told me this recently. If you're mixing it all up, if you're like doing this meditation and this meditation and this one, it's good to just stick to one and just see it all the way through and get to the end of that meditation and then like see where it goes. But if you're putting your energy in a bunch of different places, I mean, this, but the term too much on my plate, you end up giving a half-ass thing to, you're not like giving your 100%. You're like, oh, I'll give 10% here, 10% there. You're not focusing all of your energy on one thing. So it's half-ass, you kind of have to like stay focused without doubt and then see things through, have that followed through. That's a huge thing for me. I need to get that followed through. It's easier to finish a painting when it's small. So just start small and then work your way through it and get to the end and then start another thing. So it's not to say that you shouldn't do a bunch of meditations. Just focus on one at a time. Use it like steps. You focus on this one until you get all the way to where you feel like it worked. Like almost maybe nothing will happen. But you feel like you've worn it out, or it's just not like interesting anymore. Then put it down, pick up a new meditation, and follow that. I say like 4 to 6 months on one meditation, maybe. Don't spend your whole life doing one thing. I mean, if that's what you want to do, maybe that's like a good thing. Maybe that's what you need. But it's good to have, little tools. It's not to say that you can't do like a daily clearing of your aura and then go into your main meditation. You can have different steps and different phases of your meditation. But if you're like mixing them up and doing them all at once and just like overloading yourself with a bunch of dogma or ideas or imaginative spaces, then it kind of gets cluttered, and you can't focus your energy on one thing. So it's good to have like a mission in it. You're like, I want to gain more focus. And so you do a whole bunch of focus stuff, focus meditations, walking meditations, painting meditations, qigong, anything where you're like working with your energy, because we're physical beings. You got to be physical too. So walking in nature, riding your bike, these are all meditations. Someone used to tell me that like, oh, I don't need to meditate. I meditate all the time. I'm like, my life is meditation. That's what they say. Like just everything I do. And I get that, but like maybe they're not pursuing any other truths. Maybe not even wanting to know about themselves or who they really are. Like for me, I've just been curious, like, who am I really? Who is this person? Like, what am I part of? Like, I just want to know. Like, I have this desire to know, but like there's goals in it. You can achieve certain things, and clarity of thought is a nice one to achieve, direct intention with your creativity. Like, I know a lot of people say they get these ideas, they just come out of nowhere. And they pluck these thoughts out of the ether, out of, like, trees will whisper to you or something. Like, they don't even know specifically. They're just like, you ever just get this like idea for something, for a song or a painting, and it just pops into your head? And I feel like that is just when you're not directing your energy, and you're open, but you're not specifically setting an intention. You know what I mean? Like, for me, in a lot of paintings, I want to like pursue something that's never been seen, or there's something that's like hidden, or maybe needs to be revealed to the world, and I'm just like a conduit for that one thing that hasn't been manifested yet. And so I intentionally place my thoughts in that space of trying to always conjure up new things, not what people will already want to see, but something that like has never been seen before by me, or maybe some other people. Usually it's just me. So something I've never seen before, and being able to remain focused and intentional in that specific topic, and then just work it through, like get it all the way out and try all the possibilities until you fine tune it to what it is that you're trying to project. So, all that said, need to take a deep breath. I quit smoking weed like 25 days ago on the 1st of the year. Today's the 25th of January. And for me, I feel like it's been a huge inspiration. And I feel like that plant that I was in a relationship with was also in a relationship with all these other humans all over the world. And so by tapping into this plant, I was also tapping into all those thoughts of all those stoners, all those potheads, all their wild imaginative thoughts that just, like everyone's like thought generating. It's like the weed is like the AI program, whatever. And we're just conduits for those prompts. And the prompts are out there. Like, people are thinking stuff like, whoa, dude, what if like Jesus was an alien or something? And then like that goes out into that collective mind of that plant species, and then we all tap into that. And there's also like, the weed you smoke is full of like things, there's like stuff in there, there's hormones or whatever, there's stuff, they like pump it full of things to make it bigger. So a lot of the energy around cannabis, especially now, is just all about money. They don't care about it being medicine for you. They just want to make it the strongest and taste the best. They like refine it down because it's all about just trying to make money and get, project more of that, like sustaining the life of the plant. So the life of that plant, it all super depends on whether or not we like it or not. And I don't think it even needs to try anymore, because, look at how popular it is. People are so, and I don't think it's not a bad thing that people smoke it. And a lot of people need it because they're just too rapid with their thoughts, and it helps them slow down and maintain that energy. But I feel like the cannabis is so strong now that it just knocks people down, and it brings your energy down. You know what I mean? Like, if you already have high energy, then it's going to pull you down. If your energy is already low, then it's going to pull you up a little bit. You know what I mean? So it does whatever that person, wherever their energy is at, it like works with that. But for me personally, I feel like I was depending on it too much for inspiration, for motivation. Like, it took me 25 days to do a new podcast because like I just really didn't feel like it. I had to feel like I like formulating these thoughts in my head all month I had this topic in mind these last 25 days. I was like, I want to do one about meditation and magic, but like I hadn't been motivated yet to actually do it until today, because I was like, oh, I'm going to be moving soon and I got to use my internet. And I just been like kind of brewing in these thoughts all month. So, by quitting, I've realized so many things, how much I used it as a scapegoat. how much I, depended on it for inspiration, like how much I was seeking comfort in it, when in reality it just made me feel more depressed and more aware of things that, like, my flaws. It's really been an eye-opener just quitting, and I had been smoking for like 30 years nonstop. The last time I quit was for a month in the year 2000. Yeah. And so I'm gonna try to go a little longer than a month, but we'll see. Maybe I don't need it anymore. Maybe I'll just smoke it every once in a while. I'd really like that, just to be able to, like, just a little bit with friends or family, just to get into stuff, a conversation, But I don't want to feel like I depend on it, like I need it to be inspired to do a podcast, to talk a bunch, or to need it to do art. I want to be able to have ideas of my own that I tap into through meditation and stuff. And lately I've been getting a lot of ideas in meditation. Even before I quit, I was meditating a bunch, and I realized that, like, I was opening myself up to like those thoughts of other stoners, basically. And by stopping that, I've realized that, it's more my energy, it's more my interests, and it's more what I feed my brain, what I feed my soul, that I'm conjuring while meditating, rather than tapping into the collective mind, So, and I think that that's what happens with a lot of drugs, just drugs in general. You're like tapping into that addiction that everyone else has. That's why it's hard to get rid of those addictions, because it's not just your addiction. It's like your addiction and all those other people addicted to that power of that, and the grip it has on you. It's definitely a symbiotic relationship when you become an everyday user of anything. Like, it sustains you and you sustain it, basically, by buying it, by supporting it, by getting it, by growing it. You're maintaining its life, and then you're probably going to grow it again. And this last 2 years, the only weed that I smoked was weed that I grew, and I didn't fertilize it, and all I did was put compost on it. I didn't go to the store and buy like a bunch of stuff to put on it. The first year I did, but this last year, and just very little bit, because I couldn't afford that. Like right at the beginning, that was it. But it was all natural stuff. It wasn't like those crazy bottles and it's like, you'll get so much yield from the. I was like, whatever is the cheapest. And then this year I put nothing on it, and it came out so minimal. I just barely got anything, like just nothing. Like, it's the smallest plants, but that marijuana got me in a totally different headspace. Like, I felt less paranoid. I felt less like money driven. It was interesting. That's what opened my eyes to this. I was like, whoa, this is what it's really supposed to be like, and it wasn't like this high that just totally knocked me down either. It was just like maintained. I never really got too high or whatever. But that was the other thing. It was like I wasn't even getting high anymore. I just smoke all the time and maintain this even kind of like there's honey on your brain. It just kind of masks everything. And I felt less. I felt things, still felt things, but now I feel things just way more vibrant. Things are just vibrant. I could smell more, taste more. I notice things, as they happen. Whereas like before, I was just kind of like, I didn't get things a lot. Like, I would misunderstand things, and I wouldn't get the point of certain things. And I'd just be like, oh, whatever, and the whole like enjoying things more, I really did not. I really didn't. And it kind of like made a lot of other things in my life unbalanced when I did that. I was drinking less water, like I'd eat sweeter things, but like since then it's made me like not want to eat sugar as much. It's made me not want to eat dairy. Like those first few days I think it was 3 days at the beginning of the month, I fasted. And so like as soon as I started eating again, I just felt sensitive to everything. I was like, oh, I don't want to put this in my body anymore. I don't want to put that. I quit drinking coffee and I quit smoking weed, and I just quit a bunch of things, just the dairy, that creamer that goes in the coffee. Oh God, so much sugar. But my teeth are happy. I started doing things too, like the coconut oil on my gums, and I started, meditating way more. I started taking baths every day and cold showers, and the baths are great. I've been sweating out toxins like crazy. I felt like that first couple weeks I was sweating so much, so many toxins in my body. And it's mostly it was like the coffee and all that creamer, because I don't even eat meat, and I don't drink, I don't, do a bunch of toxic things. I'm not putting things in my body. I don't take any medication or anything like that. I don't have pills that I take for headaches. I just breathe now, and everything is good. So, magic and meditation. Magic can be a way of directing the energy, like setting intention, moving into a space where you want things you want. It's a lot of manifestation. Manifestation's a real thing, but I feel like that's just a stage in things. Eventually you get to the point where you're like, what do I even want? It's like the more you want, the more you get hung up on shit, the more you're attached to stuff, the more you give your energy away. And so it's, I want stuff. I deserve stuff. I deserve like a good life and a good, happy, enjoyable atmosphere. But I'm not going to go, I need a car. I need this. I need this. I need this. It's not like always about obtaining things, A lot of them, those people that talk about manifestation will tell you to just skip ahead of this needing the thing and get to the vibe of that you want to get to after you need the thing. You know what I mean? So like, say you get those things that you've always wanted. How would you feel? Or how would you think you're going to feel? Because it never ends up that way. But however if it's going to make you happy, it's going to make you feel more secure or satisfied, then just go ahead and feel that already, like right now, without needing the thing. And then usually if you do that, you'll get the thing. And that's how you manifest things. You just don't attach yourself to it, because if you're like, I need it and it's going to make me such a better person, I have to have this thing, then it's going to be harder to obtain. But if you're like, just already step into that feeling satisfied feeling, that feeling of success. Every day is a success. Every day is, there's an abundance of sunshine. There's an abundance of nature. It's everywhere. There's an abundance of love. You just have to open yourself up to it, and redefine those things for yourself. And it's, the waves are always going to come. You just get better at surfing them. You get better at like, and some days it's flat. Some days there's huge waves. You just gotta, be able to look at, oh, here comes another one. Am I gonna ride this one, or am I just gonna let it roll over? It's all about how you react to things. And the more you react to things, the more you conjure up more experiences. So meditation and magic are very similar. And I feel like magic is more of like an outward experience with things, and meditation is more of an inward experience, but they're very similar. And a lot of different spells and magical practices will get you to different places. And same with meditation. A lot of meditations practices will get you to different places, but it's all about what your intention is. What do you want to experience out of it? Maybe you just want to be calm and peaceful and relaxed or inspired. Like if you want something to paint, if you're looking for an idea, just close your eyes for like 10 minutes and a billion thoughts will come to you. Just pluck one out. Oh, that's a good one. Let's paint that. But as far as like manifesting things, I don't think you really need to like write spells down or learn the names of angels and call upon them and stuff. I mean, like that's cool, but I think that's more like drama club kids, like some people just need that. Some people need to have those foam swords in the park and act out a whole thing. And, some people need to recreate like Civil War stuff. Like, I don't know. It's just people need a thing, they want to act like a certain thing to feel like they're part of something. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. And that's what I'm doing right now, and I feel like by talking about these subjects, it's kind of, somebody out there might go, oh, I never made the connection between that and that. Oh, that makes sense. And I think there's way more to say about all these subjects. This is just me touching on it for 45 minutes, which is, I'm about done. But I think I'm going to make some more videos about meditation and teach you a couple of my meditation practices. They're really simple. There's really basic ones, and I'll give you like 3 or 4 of the real basic ones One of them is just running energy through your body. Another one is setting up the force field around your body with like what they call a Joseph's coat of many colors. And another one is like running energy just through each hemisphere of your brain. Another one can be like just breathing. You know, there's different tools, like I said, and one of them is like repetitive drumming. You know, when you hear the shamanic drumming, boom, 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 boom. When you listen to drumming, you can find those videos on YouTube. They're easy, just shamanic drumming for like an hour or something. But you got to find the ones that just go boom, 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 boom. None of this like rattles and boom, 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 boom. None of that. Just like the sonic driving is what it's called. Boom, 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 boom. And what you do is you try to focus on the space in between the drum beats. And then your brain doesn't have any time to think about things. You can really like stop thought easily. Like it's super easy to stop thought if you distract yourself. So a lot of meditation techniques are just distracting yourself from thinking. Like if you're breathing really hard and you're like, you hear the breathing really loudly, then you know your brain doesn't have space to like conjure thoughts. You're just distracting yourself with these sounds. A lot of people will tell you to like listen to a fan or just something dripping or some kind of outsized noise, and it'll pull you into a space of like extreme focus because you're not like constantly thinking about things and distracting yourself. We have these brains that are just super active. But that one really works really well for me. So just repetitive drumming, just put that on and then breathe with it. Just deep breaths, you know, and then let them get longer and longer and longer breaths. And then like hold at the end and then let go all the way out and then hold down there and then breathe in and hold it out. You know, just there's a ton of meditations, a ton of breathing techniques on the internet. Like I don't even need to tell you. But the next few videos that I make, I want to make some short ones that basically describe each one of these meditations I just mentioned. And maybe some more advanced ones too. So thanks for tuning in. I just kind of rambled on there for a while. I didn't even realize 47 minutes had passed. It's easy when it's a topic you're already into. Like I've been doing this my whole life. And it's interesting to me. And I haven't found a lot of people who are interested in this stuff. And a lot of times people will talk about it from such a superficial place, and it just turns me off. I'm just like, they're like, oh yes, then you get your little yoga pants and let's go stretch and da 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 da. And you know, every time I've taken a yoga class, it just felt like it was super fast. And I'm like, slow down. Can we slow down? It doesn't have to be like calisthenics. We don't have to. I felt so worn out. The last time I took one, I was like, man, how many stretches did we just do in 2 minutes? Like, I think it was hatha yoga. I don't even know what it was. It was something that's just fully super fast. I was like, can we just slow down and breathe into these stretches? It just was too much for me. I just have a problem with like that stuff. I've only ever found one teacher that I trusted, and it was because of two things he said. Don't believe me, because you'll believe in anything. Find out for yourself. Like, take what I say with consideration and just find out for yourself. Do the work. Do the meditation. And the other thing is they won't charge you an arm and a leg, or they won't charge you at all. They'll be like, here's the information. What you do with it is up to you. Because truly that's what it is. You know, you can pay. Some people need to pay for something to feel worthy of it. But you don't have to. You don't need to. Like, you deserve it. Everybody deserves to know it. It's been out there for thousands of years, all this information, you know, so get to know it. It's there, and it's different for everybody. Some people don't ever find the meditation that suits them because they're not looking, you know. It's like those people who get so set in their ways, there's like, there's no good music out there anymore. You all know those people. There's no good music out there anymore. It's because they're not looking. They don't even know where to look. They don't even know where to start, you know, so start by just sitting down and closing your eyes. You don't have to sit in some crazy position. Just sit in a chair with the back in it, or put some pillows back there. Get comfortable and just like close your eyes and try to stay really still for as long as you can, and don't fall asleep. You know, most people just want that break. Most people just want that space to to not think for a minute, to just like not have to be doing something. I think that's why a lot of people smoke cigarettes, is because it gives them that break away from people. They get to just be in their own thoughts and breathe, or not be in their thoughts, just like total distraction. And I think that's why a lot of people smoke, but when they're doing this and they're thinking, I'm killing myself, that's when it's really bad. But if they're like, this is my meditation, I need this, it helps me relax, then it's not a bad thing. And some people need that. We all go to different things. It's like we're addicted to this life, this world, everything about it. Like whatever I can do to get me high, meditation makes me high, so it's like one high to the next. One's more healthier than the other, but it's all in your head. It's all what you think it is. You may not need meditation at all. You may not even want to dive into magic. The thing with magic that I noticed is that there's a lot of baggage. There's a lot of stuff involved in that, all that information. People attach their energy to it. So it's like, it's just not me. I'm not really, like I was interested in it a long time ago, and I feel like I pluck out little things that I've used, like the brushing the hair thing, but it's like, I'm good. I don't need to know it's the sigils and the symbols for whatever, and I don't need to know how to summon gods or whatever. I feel like that's all just energy, and it's whatever you place that energy, whatever you focus your energy onto, and then you're conjuring that. It's just yourself. So yeah, but that's my perspective, and don't believe me or else you'll believe a fool, right? You'll believe any fool. Find out for yourself, put it into action, and don't forgive yourself. Have patience. It's okay. Like, we're going to do it again, it's going to happen again. A lot of the things that motivate me is wanting to know exactly where I go when I die. And that's what really motivates me a lot, because in that moment of death, you can just let your energy go where whatever you're addicted to, whatever you go after here, you go after there. So you might end up a hungry ghost or something. But I want to really know where to go when I die. At least be able to maintain my consciousness and my energy outside of my physical body when I'm dead. Like if I can maintain a conscious self outside of myself, then I feel like I've got something. There's a reason, and I've got little truths and nuggets through the years that like keep motivating me through it. So I'm going to keep pursuing it, see what happens. Thanks for listening. Cheers, everyone. Oh, orange cinnamon spice. That's good. Needs honey though, or something. It's a little dry. If you like this podcast, check out some other ones. There's a lot of them talking about my travels and adventures. Also, stay tuned for those meditations. I'll probably put them here, and I'll put them on my YouTube channel. Check out my TikTok. I've been putting a bunch of stories on there, just telling stories of my adventures and then showing all my art. And follow my Instagram, even though it's like a ghost town there. And my Facebook page. Check that out. And if you like this, let me know. Leave a comment down there. If you're on YouTube, leave a comment and subscribe and all that good stuff. And if you like it and comment, that I think it helps. I don't but maybe this isn't for the masses, right? It's just for us. And if you don't meditate, that's fine. But if you do, tell me what kind of meditation you do. I'm always curious. I want to know what people are doing. And what's your experience? Have you dived into some other dimension without, knowing it? Or it's, I always find that like the best stuff comes when you're relaxed, almost just not trying, I think that's why dreams are so good. And that's another thing. I've been dreaming like crazy. Holy cow. Like at first I wasn't dreaming a bunch because I was like, I quit smoking weed. I'm gonna have all kinds of dreams. I wasn't dreaming. And then I realized I had a dream catcher right over my head. I totally forgot I had it. And I took it down. That night, I had some crazy dreams. I was like, oh, duh. I wasn't dreaming because I had a dream catcher. It was catching them all. And so I'm like, wait, was that a good thing? Like maybe dream catchers are there so we can get a good night's rest. You know, we're like, oh, I just need to sleep. Like, I want to go look that up. Like what the real reason is for a dream catcher. Like I feel like maybe those are just to catch nightmares or something, or some kind of outside influence or something. I'm like, I like them, but I don't even know what they do really. But it's in the name. It catches your dreams. As soon as I took that down, every night I've been dreaming like crazy. I'm thinking about putting it back up. All right, thanks for tuning in. Signing off. See you later. Have a wonderful life. And what do you want to hear next? You guys want to hear some other thoughts of mine? Should I talk about reincarnation? Should I talk about my hitchhiking stories? Should I tell you some alien stories? What do you want to hear? Want to hear stuff about art? My process? Let me know. I'll make another one. Oh, I'm moving soon. This is going to go away. I'm moving to San Diego with my brother. So that's a whole new adventure. If you want to see where that goes, just follow me on all the social medias. All right, all. Thanks for being here. I'll talk to you soon.